Sahana vavatu Sahana bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scripture. May our study be brilliant and may we not travel a detour. Om, peace, peace, peace and peace of all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. So, we'll be continuing our study circle on Sutra Vahini soon. First, I would like to welcome all of you for the online satsang of the SSSIO Baba Center of Arcadia. So, before we start our study circle, I thought it is good. I would like to share with you a few thoughts on Gayatri, because this coming weekend, starting Saturday, at 7:30 a.m. we will have a welcoming session where we will show the darshan of Swami, we will have some bhajans, and also the importance of Gayatri as per Swami. We will show that for half an hour. Then it will be followed by 24 hours continuous Gayatri chanting from Saturday 8 a.m. Our Pacific Standard Time till 13th 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, we have 38 time zones. We need to accommodate everybody. So, this is the best time. So, this Gayatri, because we all have been chanting, and most of the Sai devotees, they know Gayatri, that's part of our life breath. But we should know the little bit inner significance. I want to just recollect and recapitulate so that we really take the best benefit of Gayatri. Number one, what are the benefits of Gayatri? We all like to know whatever we do, what are the benefits? That is our human nature. Number one, it gives the peace. Peace to whom? Peace is peace to the individual, then peace in the family, then peace in the society, peace in the nation, peace in the world, which we need, and finally peace in the universe, because the whole universe is not just this earth and world, but many galaxies, planets. There need to be harmony in everything. So the importance of Gayatri is it gives peace at the individual level, family, society, national, world, and the universal level. So that is the power of Gayatri. Second thing is, you may be saying, how is it going to benefit us? So it benefits each one of us. This is one, even the scientists have found, this is non-denominational prayer. This non-denominational mantra. Mantra is Mananath Rayate iti mantra. What is mantra? By chanting which, contemplating which, it protects us. That is the power of these mantras. So this mantra, Gayatri mantra, is another beautifully said, Gayante Rayate iti Gayatri. By chanting which, by singing which, it will protect us. That is the power of Gayatri. And it's the ancient, the most thousands of years it is being chanted by spiritual seekers all over. There is a power. And then next, three beautiful Swami said, I want you to all remember and go back to our website. Number one, Swami said, Sarva Roga Nivarini Gayatri. Rogas means diseases. So it will get rid of all our diseases. Adi Vyadhi. That means for physical illnesses, we all get that, minor to major illnesses, or even psychological, mental illnesses, doubt, depression, anxiety, fear. So it will calm our minds, mental. So it will get rid of all our diseases. Sarva Roga Nivarini. And there is a proof, many people who chanted Gayatri, how their physical and mental health improved. Second, Sarva Dukkha Pariharini Gayatri. Dukkha means sorrows. We all get sorrows, difficulties, and afflictions. So just it gets rid of all our dukkha. Sarva Dukkha Pariharini Gayatri. So that is why we all life is full of pleasure and pain. So we have, so if you go on chanting Gayatri, that Mother Gayatri will protect us. Third thing is Sarva Vancha Phala Siddhi Gayatri. So whatever you want, Mother gives you Varada, just gives you the boon, just grants the your wishes. As long as they are good wishes, so good, so then this is Sarva Vancha Phala Siddhi. So this is the personal benefits and benefit for all people. So this is a motivation for you to do, not only for the world, peace, but for individual. Another thing is, this is the prayer which is not addressed. It says, illumine my intellect. Whether you believe in God or not, you're a scientist, anybody who wants, they want their intellect to be illumined. So this is Dhiyo Yona Prachodayas. There are said to be 5 faculties in our body which is considered part of this Dhi. One is Dhi, that is the main thing is intellect, discriminative faculty, it improves. Second is Prajna, it improves our awareness, because sometimes some people are very intelligent but they are not aware of what is happening. So it is the people gives increased awareness of what is happening simultaneously. When you are doing, you know what is happening. Increases Prajna, awareness. Third thing is it increases our smriti, that means our memory. You may be intelligent to understand things, but you may not remember, you will forget. So probably it will help you get rid of, minimize your dementia, improve, it delays the process. So third thing is that's smriti. And fourth thing is dhruti. That means it gives you steadfastness, strength, courage to do anything. We need that, dhruti. And fifth thing is it gives medha, collective wisdom. So it gives Dhi, gives medha, gives smriti, and it is dhruti and prajna. So that is the power of Mother Gayatri. And here I want you to, because we chant Gayatri, sometimes we don't know what it is about. Yes, God, Mother, picture when you see Gayatri, how many faces it has got? 5 faces. Mother has 5 faces. So here the explanation is each one is one face of Mother when we chant Gayatri. Om, that itself is one face. Second, Bhur Bhuva Swaha, that is second face. And Bhur Bhuva Swaha, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. No, that is the last one. See that? Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam. So Om is the first phase, Bhur Bhuva Swaha is second phase, and Tat Savitur Varenyam. That is the third phase. And Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, fourth phase. And Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya, fifth phase. Let me repeat again, it's important. Just got mixed up. Om is the first phase of Mother, and Bhur Bhuva Swaha is second phase. Third is Tat Savitur Varenya is the third. And Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, fourth. And Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya, fifth phase. And that is one aspect of the Mother. And second thing is, when you are doing that, that's why they say you should always understand the prayer and do it. This is the unique mantra. There are many mantras. Just you repeat, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, many mantras, Hail Mary. There are many mantras, but this is unique mantra. It has got all the 3 in this. It has got praise, meditation, and prayer. So the mantras don't have The prayer is different, mantra is different. This has got all the three in this. First is you got praise. That is what when you are praising is Tats Savitur Varenyam. You are the excellent. That's Savitur. That means that the Son God, Son, the Mother, you are the greatest. You are praising the deity. And then second thing is meditate. Bhargo Devasya Dhimati. Bhargo Dhimati, you are meditating on that. Bhargo Devasya, brilliant, divine brilliance. Then prayer. What is the prayer? Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Please, Prachodayat. Increase my awareness of the D, all the 5 components of the D, I said. So that is why these 4 important components. And here also, actually, the first thing when the creation happened, they say what we talked about, Omkar. Omkar, Om Itye Kaksharam Brahma. First thing is Om. Next is the Gayatri mantra. Gayatri is so powerful. That is why it is called Mother of the Vedas. Even before Vedas, Gayatri Chandaso Mataha. Before even the Vedas came, Gayatri came. Gayatri is so powerful. It is chanted by all segments of the population, whether you believe in God, not God, any nationality, religious and creed. So that is the power of Gayatri. So it is good that all of us participate in this. And I would like to share, have Dr. Sadanand had recently an experience how Gayatri protected him. Just recently, I know a lot of us go through many times in many situations. God protects us by chanting Gayatri. I have one of my friends, when he had some plumbing issue, he had chanted Gayatri. He says his plumbing problem is solved. So people use Gayatri for many purposes in place of plumber and all that. But here recently, he had an experience. Before we go to the regular study cycle, I requested him to share so that it shows the importance of how Gayatri is there, mother as mother protects. Because the Swami says we have 3 aspects: materialization, vibration, and radiation. Materialization, the body level, how it protects, and the vibration is the mind and intellect level, and radiation, the cosmic level. This is the power of Mother Gayatri. So, Venkat, are you on the line?
Yes, Dr. Reddy, I'm here. Jai Sai Ram, everyone. My most humble pranams to my very beloved Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. About a week and a half ago, 2 Fridays ago, I was driving on a freeway in the fastest lane, the leftmost lane, which is the carpool lane. The reason this story is interesting is because there is some scientific proof here that is useful to see how God intervenes when we call upon Him. I was driving in that lane, and I was going at about 70 miles per hour, between 69 and 70. And I'll tell you how I know all this information about my speeds. So I was smoothly going in that fast lane, the carpool lane, when suddenly from the lane to the right of me, a lady darted into my lane, crossing the yellow line. And it was all within a second, several milliseconds, this whole thing happened. My first reaction was Sai Ram. I don't know why, but I didn't say Ayo, I didn't say oh my God, I said only Sai Ram. Somehow that's always my reaction. Before Swami it was Muruga, now it is Sai Ram. So I started shouting Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. Within a second, there was a massive collision from the right side, hit my car. My car hit the left side, which was the divider on that highway, 405, and then my car went ahead of the car that hit me. So I stopped, and all I could do at that time was pray to Swami and pray to Gayatri. And then my family was with me. They said, call 911. So I was still sitting in the car. There was smoke coming from the right side. And on my phone, I dialed 911. Unfortunately, that time, 911 was busy. And they put me on hold, something I never expected. So while I was on hold with 911, still shaken, somebody taps on my window. So that person who's tapping on my window is between my car and the center wall, the divider of the highway from the two sides of the highway. There's hardly any room because my car hit that wall a little bit. So there's a man standing there and he's tapping on my window. So I opened the window and told him, I am on hold for 911 for the police, sir. Please let me talk to the police. And he bent down, looked at me, and he said, are you okay, sir? I said, yes, I'm fine. Then he looked inside the car, are you all okay? And my family said, yes, we are okay. And then I was a bit concerned. I said, how about the people behind me? And he said, don't worry, they are also all okay. Everything will go well. You call the police and talk to them. And just then the police came. I talked to them, hung up my phone, and the police said, get out of the car. So I hung up the phone, opened the door, and got out. This man was nowhere to be seen. There was just nobody. There was just the lady who darted into my lane, and a guy on the right side lane who had hit the lady. He was also behind. So there were only 3 cars. And I went over to them. Are you okay, sir? Are you okay, ma'am? And they said, yes, we are fine. I said, there was this guy who came by and knocked on my window. I wanted to thank him for his concern. And did you talk to him? And both of them corroborated. They said no. They hadn't seen anyone else because it's crazy. This is a high-speed lane in which 3 cars were blocking the lane. And to the right side, people were zooming by on that freeway. I don't know how this guy came there, appeared between me and the wall, and talked to me. So that was, to me, that was very, very touching. But more importantly is the data I got later on about my car's movements and my actions. So my car records in the cloud every bit of information about what I do in the car. So before a few, and it records it by the millisecond. So before a few milliseconds before the collision happened, the car started slowing down. So it was going at 69 or 70 miles per hour before, and then suddenly it started slowing down. Now that could be the accident avoiding algorithm program in the car. So that's okay. Then here's the interesting part. At that time, I hadn't pressed the brake. So the data that goes to the cloud, it measures how much of the brake I've pressed, how much of the accelerator I've pressed. I hadn't pressed the brake and the car was slowing down. The steering wheel had not turned because the angle of the steering wheel is also recorded in the cloud. So there was no change in the steering angle. What is also recorded in the cloud is how much the car moves forward, frontal acceleration, and lateral acceleration. So without my steering, without the lady hitting, the car had moved to the left. So the car had essentially slowed down and moved to the left. Then the collision happened, and it recorded the time of the collision. Now I'll show you a picture because this picture will tell you why this was important. I mean, obviously, I did not turn the car to the left, but the car did move to the left because lateral acceleration is recorded. And you will see the picture of the car. You can see this collision is minor compared to the speeds in which we were going. Obviously, my wheel is completely smashed. But if my car did not slow down, this hit would have happened in this door. This door is the passenger side door where my sister was. So nothing happened. The whole passenger compartment was safe. The car had slowed down. This is the damage that was there. Obviously, on the other side, there was damage because it had hit the divider. So my thought at that time was a story that was told to us many times, and many of you would have heard it, about someone in Bangalore who got into an accident with his wife. And at that time, in the middle of the street, when his car was in an accident and smashed, he did not call out Swami. He started finding fault at the driver who hit him, came out of the car and started shouting. And then he realized that his wife was motionless in the car. She was not moving. And later on, when he went to Swami, Swami said, "You never called out to me." And that's why it took time for Swami to come. And I can tell you 100%, based on all the scientific data we have about the movement of the car and the movement of my foot and the angle of the steering, that Gayatri does come when you call her. Call her first. Even before 911, call Gayatri Mata and Swami. Saira.
Sairam. Thank you, Venkat. So we see the power of prayer. Number one, prayer, any prayer will work, particularly power of Gayatri and name of Swami. You have to always like highlight, protect that God Sathya assured us will always be with us, was with us, is with us, will be with us, protecting us, guiding us, guarding us. We need to have that absolute faith. That faith is called to protect us. So that is wonderful. But that all the vasanas, he is a neurosurgeon, he is a scientist, all this, he has to get the scientific data and all that. The bottom line for us devotees is prayer works. So he has the evidence to substantiate it by all the data of the Tesla. That is thankful. So there is not imagination, but that's true how God protects. So now we'll go back to our Sutra Vahini. So we are on the Sutra number 4. So where we started last 2 weeks ago. So where the Sutra says all Vedantic axioms posit only Brahman. Tatsu Samanvaya. So we discussed that. So please always, I don't want to again emphasize, you go back to the first sutra, second sutra, third sutra, you should be knowing by this time what they are. So now we are doing the fourth sutra. So where we talk about how these, everything points out to Brahman. All the Upanishads, we said, these Mahavakyas are the great aphorisms which we talk about, all points that everything is Brahman. One is Prajnanam Brahma, everything is Brahman. Second is Tattvamasi, is not somewhere else, you are that, we are the Brahman. So by going on practicing that, that is why it is not one time I told the story of Swetaketu, how the Guru said 9 times Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi, because we need to go on reminding ourselves. We forget we are the body, mind, intellect. Our many lifetimes we thought. Now we have to undo that program. So we have to realize that you are that Tattvamasi. So once, that is why some people who are ready, even one time you say they will recognize that, like Nisargadatta Maharaj is a classical example. Some of you might have seen his book, I Am That. So just his Guru said you are that, and he just on contemplating, and then he realized that. Swami used to fondly call him Bidiwala. He used to put the Bidis and said, but he was a jnani, so he realized that. So Tattvamasi. When you go on realizing, yes, I am that, then you realize, I am Atma Brahman. I am Atma, I am Brahman. And finally you realize, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. So there is no difference. So this is what all the Upanishads, which is nothing but Vedanta, give us the clue. Then, and what is about the Vedas? Vedas give us karma kanda. You do this yajna, you will get children. You do this yajna, you will get house. You will get this wealth. You will get health. So all the benefits. Yes, they have that. But that is karma kanda. That means you will get the results, but you will be again born again and again. So the best thing is, if you don't want to be caught up in the cycle of birth and death, you have to follow the Vedantic proclamations. There it says, but the karma we have to do. Is there anybody who doesn't do karma? Like I'm talking right now, that is karma, that is action. And you are listening, that is action. Somebody is providing the services, lecture, and you are doing these things, that is action. So everything is, there is no, as long as we are living, we do the action. But the problem is, action binds us. Why it binds us? Only for two reasons. Because of doership and enjoyership. I am doing this to the ego, the ahankara. Second is, I did this, so I want the results. We are human, so you go to a job, you expect a paycheck, or you do this, somebody, even voluntary service, you expect pat on the back or recognition. So as long as you're expecting the fruits of action, you are going to be bound. You are changing. So the best thing is doing number one as a worship, thinking God is the only doer, which is true. He is the only doer, and we are the instrument. As Lord Krishna said to Arjuna, "Nimitta matram bhava sarvasachim." You are just instrument. That feeling. And second is knowingly and willingly give the fruits of the action to God. That is why Sayarpanamastu, Ramarpanamastu. Just he said, Swami, we did all this, I give the results to you. Then it won't bind you. So that is the whole thing is first thinking he is the one who is acting through you. Just be convinced of that he is the doer and we are the instrument. Second thing to remember is whatever fruit we get, we dedicate that. That is why we said Swami's beautiful explanation of Lord Krishna's karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. He said, lot of people say like na phaleshu. That means you are not entitled to the fruits of action. The law of karma is whenever you do action, there will be results. There is no even for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So always there will be results. But here, knowingly there will be results, you will willfully give it to the Lord. That is the thing. Then the same karma yoga, instead of binding you, it releases you. That is the whole thing. Everybody, we are going to do the action. Hey, if you have, the only thing difference is, you will still do the same thing. You are a doctor, you will see patients. If you are a lawyer, you will do the cases. You are a computer, you will work with. But the attitude changes, that's all. From outside it is the same, but your attitude of seeing that it is a Lord who is doing that and everything belongs to the Lord. That then the karma also becomes jnana. So that is what the important last time, transform work into dedication. That means work is worship. Swami beautifully made it very simple. So head in the forest, hands in the society. So that he makes everything lead. And then we talked about how we need to always don't get stuck in the gross level, body level, because there is the Annamaya sheath, body sheath, then go into the subtle level, which is the vital air, that is Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnana, ultimately be in touch with the bliss sheath. That is where we ended. So now, this fourth sutra will touch about the last aspect of the fourth sutra, where it starts on page 27, I think, in the PDF online thing, and in this book, my book, it is 37. I don't know what page in your book is. 53. That's why each book, printed versions, it's different, but in the PDF version, what you got online, it is 27. And the title of the topic is Harmony of All Religions.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. Sairam, brothers and sisters. Aphorism 4, all Vedantic axioms posits only Brahman, last section, harmony of all religions. In the current spiritual beliefs of mankind, one cannot discern anywhere a harmonizing factor, samanvaya. The principles of coordination and reconciliation have to be expanded and expounded. Though religions have separate names and the doctrines are distinct from each other, in essence, all are one. The aphorism endeavors to emphasize the common core. Unfortunately, the apparent differences among the religions have subverted the amity of all men and the feeling of international brotherhood. Today, the experience and wisdom of great seers who have unveiled the mystery of the cosmos and their feelings of universal love are not appreciated, accepted, and respected. All religious dogmas, except a few, can easily be harmonized and reconciled. The same God is extolled and adored under various names through varied ceremonial rituals in the many religions. In every age, for every race or community of people, God has sent prophets to establish peace and goodwill. Since many separate religions have spread worldwide, they have lost fraternal feelings and thereby have suffered in validity. There is an urgent need for harmony. All great people are images of God. They form one single caste in the realm of God. They belong to one nation, the divine fellowship. Each must interest himself in understanding the practices and beliefs of the others. Then only can everyone with cleansed mind and loving heart attain the divine presence with others. The principle of harmonizing is the very heart of all religions and faith. So the harmony of all religions is something that Swami has taught, practiced, and explained throughout his sojourn on earth. There are many discourses he gave. The one that I remember is the one he gave to the conference in Rome in 1987, which we had studied before in one of the study circles, in which he had gone through this. All of this is based on the ancient saying in the Upanishads, Ekam Sat, Bodha Vipra Vadanti. The sages believe that the truth is one. The truth is God, God is one. But people call him by different names, different forms. And then in the famous discourse Swami gave at the First World Conference, May 17, Swami was very clear. He said, all names and forms are mind. Everything is mind. Everything is reflected in me. So this is the reason avatars come down on earth from time to time, and they adapt to the times and the conditions at that time. Jesus, Buddha, Rama, Krishna, they all came in different times and different ages. Swami's uniqueness is that he combines all of this into the need of the hour for everybody on earth. So people of all religions, all nationalities, all sects, all colors, etc., find that he's the one who is guiding them towards that ultimate goal. And in the Gita, I remember that Krishna said, told Arjuna the same thing. Ye yatha mama prapaddante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. Any way you come to me, I will meet you in that way. And Swami is an exemplary of that. This is the point Swami is making, I think, that religion is like the path, whereas spirituality is the end. God is one. All paths are leading to Him. So we need to just follow them. But don't covet others, don't fight amongst with each other, because all of them will ultimately realize the truth.
Thanks. As Anupam was mentioning, this harmony of religions is being emphasized a lot in the last few centuries. But the most ancient scripture, the Vedas, of them the Rig Veda is the one which talks about Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. Truth is one, sages call it by many names. So Swami made it very simple, like everything is like a formula you need to remember, that is like a memorize. There is only one religion, the religion of love. There is nothing else, because whether you call Christianity, Judaism, Baha'i faith, or any religion, because there's actually we went for the Parliament of Religions meeting in Toronto. It was 2018 or something. 2018. Yeah, 2018, and there I was surprised first. I thought there are so many religions, but in the Christianity itself, there were 1,700 subdivisions. I was shocked, my God, 1,700 in baptism. This night, we couldn't even figure out. And each one thinks there is the only way. That the whole thing is like, Vivekanand said, it is like frog in the web. That is why this formula, there is only one religion, religion of love. There is no religion which teaches hatred, like Jesus, Muhammad, Guru Nanak, Mahavir, our Swami, everybody teaches only one thing, love. And only one language, that is language of the heart. That means even when you don't listen, somebody is nicely smiling at you, you feel that they are something there of language of the heart. And third thing, there's only one God. So There may be Krishna, Rama, Jesus, Swami, Sai Baba, but only one God, and He is omnipresent. So don't say, this is why even recently I was reading a discourse of Swami, even 40 years ago. He says, don't say Sai is the only way, Sai is the only God. That is wrong. So whatever you are worshipping, that you go deep into that. If you are a Christian, become more, study more teachings of Christ, and same thing Buddha, become a better Buddhist. So actually I remember my father was relating one incident. He was going with Swami in the village improvement program in Shanti Nilayam. They used to go different villages. And then one time they went alone, my father and some of these various senior devotees, to do some village improvement work. Then after coming back, Swami said, hey, make sure, don't disturb their faith. Because some of them in their villages, they worship tribal goddesses, Vangamma, or some Mangamma, some various, their tribal goddesses, they have their own tradition. So don't disturb that and take away their thing and put Swami's picture there. Because they have faith. Because as we talked about also Krishna, whichever way you worship, the main thing is that faith and love. If you do it with faith and love, even a stone will respond to you, because God will come in that form. So important is that faith and love which we do. And regarding the practice of harmony of religions, even though Rigveda said so long ago, it started by many people like in the 18th century, like Shidi Baba. That time there was a conflict between Muslims and Hindus. So a lot of people didn't even know whether it's a Hindu or Muslim. He purposefully made it like that. Always you say, Allah Malik, Allah Malik. So they used to think he is a Muslim, but then other people he used to do Hindu rituals. So that they all worked together. And those days when he was there, they used to celebrate a thing. There's Ramanavami and these Muslims Chandanotsam, the thing on the same day, so that they all come together. So just they all feel united. So he wanted to bring the harmony between that time, maintaining tensions between Muslims and Hindus. So he did that. And during the same time is interesting. They never met each other, but the consciousness is there. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was there in Bengal. He was here in Maharashtra, and he was practiced the harmony of religions. He said, you can see and experience God, whatever path you do. He just had, when he was worshipping Christ, that's all he had Christ's picture. And when he was worshipping Muhammad, he was just had only that, no other pictures are there. Mother, so whatever you do with intensity, then you will realize that. He showed by practical. And that is how Vivekananda was inspired by Swami Vivekananda, by Bhagavan Ramana, so by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So even barely he was 30 years old, went to the Chicago Parliament of Religions and taught the harmony of religions. He says Sanatana Dharma teaches that all rivers go to the same ocean. The ocean is Satchidananda. It's all these rivers, all these paths lead to the same goal. That we need to remember. So he taught that. That is during the Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Vivekananda time. Now our Swami has been teaching, and our symbols, all the things are represented: Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and Buddhism, and everything. So, and then we went further. Now we don't even want to, because there is, as I said, there are thousands of faiths. How can you put all of them? They're impossible. If you put two, then you have a size of a globe to have the faiths. So simplest is 5 human values. That is our symbol. That is our logo. That means Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. Truth, right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence. So that is the universal values, fundamental human values, and the underlying basis is love. So if we have the love, everything else. That is why there is only one religion, the religion of love. So these fundamental human values, Swami says we need, because is there any religion who doesn't teach these 5 human values? Truth, everybody says, even people who don't believe in God, if you go to a court, you are a witness, I'd say truth by our promise, the truth, but nothing but truth. So truth is basic, fundamental. Whether you believe God, everybody says, hey, he's a liar. So when people who don't, he says, in truth, everybody gives importance. Love, everybody gives importance. Right conduct, how to behave, and have a peaceful life, non-violence, not to hurt people by your thought, words, and deeds. These are fundamental human values. That is why if you practice that, whether you call yourself you a believer in God or not, doesn't matter. They're all good to do. Swami says satkarmas, doing puja, worship, japa, dhyana. But more important is, am I following these 5 fundamental human values? Then that will lead to the harmony of religions. But we've attended many interfaith meetings, so where we talk about the Buddha said the same thing, Christ said the same thing. We try to embrace everything, but those people are got up. Jesus is the only way, and then Muhammad is the only prophet. But that is the where. There are a lot of people have that fanaticism. But we should go above. Swami says, see me in everything, everywhere, ever. That is why Lord Krishna was talking to Uddhava, because you all know about Bhagavad Gita, which Lord Krishna told to Arjuna. But there is another beautiful scriptural text called Uddhava Gita, which Lord Krishna gave before he left his body to his relative and friend Uddhava. He tells him, that was beautiful, that whole Gita, how to really do spiritual practices. But at the end he says, who is my devotee? So the really general devotees who worships me, taking a idol, whatever idol he has as a picture, worships me. He's a good devotee, he's praying to me. But better than that is the one who sees me in all deities, not only in that particular chosen deity, but in all deities he sees the same. But better than that, who sees me in all human beings, whether friends and foes, same sees the same divinity. But better than that is the one who sees me in all creation, whether it is human beings, animals, plants, mountains, rivers, everything is nothing but Brahman. That kind of experience the one has, that is the greatest devotee I have. So that is what the Lord Krishna said thousands of years ago. But now these great masters, our avatars, have shown us how to lead that by the example, and also making us the opportunity to practice that in our 5 centers. That is why we celebrate Buddha Purnima, we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Mahavir Jayanti, all Eid, everything we celebrate, because to show that God is worshipped by so many ways. So its gold is one, ornaments are many. So God is one, but he could be faced in many ways. So Sai Ram will continue next